With Zephyr song, we wanted to try and do a modern-day psychedelic video that was
kind of based on the old light shows that they used to put on, behind bands at rock concerts.
In the 60s and early 70s. So we looked at experimental film of the time and the posters, and we didn't want it to be nostalgic, and yet we did want to reference that.
John and Flea wanted to do something incredibly just kind of obscure and psychedelic. Finding true psychedelia in this day and age is really hard to do because everyone wants to rely on computers and all the stuff that really doesn't know how to find the core of psychedelia. So I had my reservations, but there are some moments in this video where I think it's captured.
I feel like it's very pretty all the time, and it doesn't get into the scary, dark side of psychedelia, which to me is one of the most important parts of it.
We must have auditioned over 100 women, and we saw every kind of dancer. And there were some great people, but no one really hit the right balance. At the last minute, this girl came in, and she had danced in clubs. And
she was more of a burlesque dancer than a stripper or a go-go dancer. And she just had her own brand of movement that wasn't like anything that you'd seen a million times in strip bars.
You actually, if you look closely, there are pieces of dancers throughout the video that you don't even necessarily recognize as bodies, but they're there.
John and Val, who are, super cool people that we love working with and have, infinite trust and admiration for, asked me if I would mind going to a choreographer before we shot this. But when I put myself in the position of being trained and actually thinking about dancing, suddenly I completely sucked and had 12 left feet and couldn't move to save my life. And I realized that my strength is not thinking and just doing what I feel. So, and that was kind of a failed experiment, but I tried.
Nobody tells me how to jump around or anything. That would be pretty funny. We usually do much more than anybody would have expected us to do or asked us to do,
I tend to go for the more modern day techniques, and Val likes to try and use the kind of old school techniques. And so we argued forever about whether we could create a kaleidoscope using a computer or whether we should do it actually using mirrors and a camera. And
building a kaleidoscope and then rephotographing the footage in that kaleidoscope.
We tried it both ways, and I have to admit, it was just so much better doing it organically.
I like these little repetition things. I think I actually like this video. I know some of the guys might not like it, but I think it's interesting,
It's one I feel that never quite got to where we were hoping it would get. It's not a bad video, but I don't think it came to its utmost fruition of greatness. But it's not anybody's fault. Sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't.